I may have damaged my relationship beyond repair, looking for advice. I 26F have been together with my boyfriend 23M for 3 years. I'm going to be very honest. I have not been a good partner for a lot of this relationship. Not physically abusive, but emotionally unkind, defensive, and distant. And now he's considering leaving. When we first got together, I was coming out of a really rough chapter of my life. I had just ended a long-term relationship that included sexual situations with questionable consent. And shortly after that, I had a brief, unhealthy sexual relationship with a coworker. There was very little time between those relationships and my current one. I told my boyfriend everything early on, and he chose to continue dating me anyway. At the time, I was in an intense school program and job, and instead of processing my emotions in a healthy way, I took a lot of my stress, anger, and frustration out on him. I wasn't kind, I wasn't respectful. Over time, this also caused major intimacy issues on my end. I avoided sex, didn't initiate, and emotionally checked out. Despite all of this, he stayed. He supported me, tried to understand me, and gave this relationship everything he had. About 4 months ago, he finally sat me down and told me he was thinking about leaving. That was a huge wake-up call for me, and since then, I've been actively trying to change. I have improved, but I'm not perfect, and I still struggle. His issue now is that this has become a cycle. I hurt him, I apologize, but the change doesn't feel lasting to him. He feels like he's already given everything he has, and he's built up a lot of resentment toward me. Last night, he told me again that he's thinking of leaving. He says he loves me, but he's depressed and doesn't recognize himself anymore. He says he feels like a shell of who he used to be. Sex feels like acting, and he doesn't feel happy. He's told me that while he wants to forgive me, he doesn't know how to move past the way I treated him earlier in the relationship, or the fact that I didn't seriously change until he was already at his breaking point. We're currently in couples therapy, and he wants to talk about all of this with our therapist. He also wants to talk to my dad, who I'm very close with and who he respects a lot. For context, we moved across the state together 2 years ago for his job, and we don't have friends or family nearby. My dad lives 4 hours away and is visiting this weekend. I love him deeply, and I'm terrified of losing him. I want to be the partner he deserves and build a healthy, loving relationship. I just don't know if I can help him heal from the damage I caused, or if the healthiest thing for him is to be alone, even if that means without me. I know I'm not entitled to his forgiveness, and I understand the damage I've caused. I want to help him heal and rebuild trust because I love him and want him to stay. How can I do that without pressuring him or minimizing what I've put him through? I know I'm emotional and probably not thinking clearly. I would really appreciate any honest advice, especially from people who've been on either side of something like this. Thank you for reading Hearts. I know this is only one side of the story, and I'm happy to answer questions or provide additional context if it helps give a clearer picture.